भैया आवाज नहीं आ रही इनकी।
Wait up. Oh, Suleiman,
एकदम हल्की हल्की आ रही है।
wait up. Video on. Hi. Yes, Suleiman. Am I audible to you now?
Yes, sir.
All right. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, I'm also fine. Okay, before we continue with the class, Suleiman, this is your first or second class with me?
Sir, it's the first class.
It's your first class with me.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, do tell me where are you from, by the way?
Sir, I'm from India, Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
from okay, in which district in Uttar Pradesh?
Sajanpur. Sajanpur.
Shivan. Okay, okay, got it. Okay, and currently you are going to which school? You are going to an Indian school or you are out of India?
Indian IISR.
Which one?
IISR. International Indian School, Riyadh.
Okay, okay. So you are currently in Riyadh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it, got it. And you are in class 7th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So do tell me which subjects you like most? Maths, science, or English literature?
Maths. Then
Maths,
second science.
then science. Okay, that's good to
Yes.
know. Okay. Okay, do tell me, like in your school, what is going on in science? Which chapters have been taught?
Um,
You have been going to school irregularly or not?
yes,
Like
yes, sir.
you have been
Yes, sir.
going there, no?
Sir,
Oh,
nutrition in plants is done, and now sir is teaching nutrition nutrition in animals.
nutrition in
And
animals. Okay.
yes, sir, he's
Mhm.
teaching.
Okay. And then do tell me, have you received any updates regarding your upcoming exams in your school?
Um, Regarding my
Nutrition
exam,
in plants is done, nutrition in animal is going on. Okay. Hmm. You haven't received any updates as of now, like regarding your upcoming exams in school.
sir, I think I received, but
Okay,
very
right
old.
now,
Yes.
okay, right now you can't recall. Okay,
No.
so do one thing now. After the class, to the team or to the counselor, send your date sheet. Okay,
Okay, sir.
send your date sheet. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
before we continue with the class, I think you should have a general idea regarding the syllabus of class 7 science. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
You must have a general idea about syllabus of class 7 science.
Yes,
So
sir.
in class 7 science, the first chapter that you would be studying or that you have already studied in your school is nutrition in plants.
Yes.
Then second chapter deals with nutrition in animals,
Yes, sir.
right now. So the first two chapters are related to nutrition. After that, you would be studying about in the updated syllabus, you would find that you would be studying about heat. Okay, now you'd be
Yes.
studying about heat. Then you'd be studying about acids, bases, and salts. You'd be studying about physical and chemical changes. You'd be studying about respiration in organisms. So in total, there are 12 or 13 chapters. Huh. All these chapters deals with some basic things. In science, all these chapters gives you a general idea of different things. Like in nutrition in plants, you would have studied in this chapter, like there are different types of plants. We all are aware of the green plants. Like in the image also, you can see that the first one shows you a green plant that is carrying on photosynthesis, that is able to prepare its own food. But in nature, you have certain kind of plants that are not able to prepare their own foods, or they depend on others. Partially, they depend on others for nutrition, right? So you have got two types of plants. So that is what you study in the first chapter. Then in nutrition in animals, you just study about like animals, they are heterotrophic in nature. They can't prepare their own food. So in the wide species of animal kingdom, you will find that different animals have got different mode of nutrition, right? For example, how a human takes food is different from how an animal will be, how a dog or how a mosquito or butterfly or an or starfish will be taking food. Hmm? So every organisms have unique mode of taking in food. For example, a starfish, you would be learning in your school, I believe. A starfish would take its stomach out from the mouth, and it will wrap its prey with its mouth and then engulf the whole animal.
Yes.
Huh? So different animals have got very unique methods of engulfing the food. Then almost all the organisms, whether it be a mammal, whether it be a reptile, all of them, when they ingest the food, food goes through the same procedure in their body. They will be ingesting the food, they will be digesting the food. Huh? Then digested will be absorbed. Absorbed would be sent to different parts of your body, basically to different cells in your body. Then whatever is left from the food has to be excreted from your body because it is toxic in nature. If it accumulates inside your body, it will produce toxic substances and will lead to certain kind of diseases. So whether you have multicellular animals or whether you have single cellular animals, for example, an amoeba, you have heard of amoeba?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So both of them carries out this process. Like a person like we humans also ingest the food, digest the food, absorb the food. Food goes through assimilation and waste material is excreted. All this process happens in a single cell organism called amoeba also. So that is what you study. And then in the case of human, you study about the digestive system. Since we are dealing with nutrition, so thereby you would be studying about the digestive system. And there you will find out what are the roles played by different organs in digesting the food. What is the role played by your teeth, your tongue, the saliva in your mouth? What is the role played by the food pipe? What is the role played by stomach? Then intestines. What are the different type of glands that help in digestion of food? What is the role of small and large intestines? Different thing you would be studying right now. Then you study in the chapter heat. In the chapter heat, you'll be studying about what is heat, how heat is produced, through which mediums heat can travel. Hmm? What are the factors upon which the rate of transfer of heat depends? You'd be studying about different type of thermometers. Like there are some kind of thermometers using which you can take temperature of the human body or animal body. But if some type like you have some objects or some substances whose temperature will be above 40 or 50 degrees Celsius, so in that case you would require different kind of thermometer to study them. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Then you would be studying about different modes of transfer of heat from one place to another or from one body to another. Yes, Aman. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Yes.
Mhm. So Aman, right? Aman, this is your second class, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Aman. By the way, which chapter is going on in your school as of now?
Sir, motion and time.
Motion and time is going on. Okay, let me write that. And what about nutrition in plants and nutrition in animals?
Sir, nutrition in plants has been completed and nutrition in animals has not even been started.
Okay, it has not even been started. Okay,
Sir,
okay, got
because
it.
it's not in our periodic test syllabus, exam syllabus.
Okay, Aman, have you shared your syllabus with me?
Yes, sir, I did.
You have shared it with the team, with the
Yes,
Learnivio
sir.
team? You have no?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, I will get it from them. Yes, Fatima, how are you?
Good, sir.
Okay. So Suleiman is new to your class, so thereby we were having a casual discussion regarding the syllabus. Okay, now. So let me just quickly complete, and then we'll be continuing with the chapter nutrition in plants. Right now. So in the chapter heat, guys, we study what is heat and how heat travels from one place to another. We study about different type of thermometers. Right now. Then you have acid, bases, and salts. In that chapter, you'd be studying about, like, in around yourself, you will find that different substances can be categorized either as acidic in nature, either basic, or either neutral, that is salt. Hmm? For example, the food that you might be eating the food that will be having a sour taste, that might have a bitter taste, or that might have a salty taste, or sugary taste, sweet taste. So we study about that also, and how we have classified a particular substance as acidic, a base, or a salt in nature. It's not like you can keep on tasting everything and then you will be determining that it's a acid, because some acids are very strong now. Usually any acidic substance will have a sour taste. You all agree with this now? Any acidic substance will have a sour taste. Like you eat an orange or you eat a grape, it has got a sour taste, isn't it? So by tasting it, we can determine that it's an acidic substance. But if you were to go to chemistry lab, there you will find that it will give you a very pungent and very strong smell will be coming out from different chemicals from from the chemistry laboratory. Or if you would have seen, like at homes or at different places, people would be using an acid to clean the marble, to clean the tiles, to clean the washroom, isn't it, guys? That also gives a very strong smell now. Have you observed that it gives, when the fumes comes out of it, when the smell is very strong. So we can't keep on to we can't go on to taste every kind of substances to determine whether it is acidic, bases, and salt, because that can be very harmful for our health also. So that thing you'd be studying. Then different type of changes that you see around yourself. Huh? For example, freezing of water, then cooling of water, heating of water. It's a physical change. Although the state of water changes from solid to liquid to gaseous, but what is common, what is there, what you observe in this, that water still remains water, whether it is in solid state, whether it is in liquid state, or whether it is in gaseous state. Getting it, Suleiman,
Yes, sir.
Fatima, everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then you'll be studying about like chemical changes also. Like for example, you burnt up paper, so paper turns into ash. From ash, you can't obtain the paper back. So when new substances are formed, a change has occurred, but I can't get back the original substance back. So thereby it is a chemical change. For example, cooking of food, while the raw vegetables are cooked, so you can't change the cooked vegetables back into the raw form. Everyone getting it now? So that's what you study in chapter number 5. Then in chapter number 6, respiration in organisms, you study that whatever food you are eating, in order to obtain energy from it, that food has to be broken with the help of oxygen that you are breathing in. So that is the chapter respiration in organisms. So there are different things, different other things also which you will be studying in that chapter. How respiration takes place in humans, how respiration takes place in the case of animals, in plants as well. So that is the thing. Then you study about reproduction in transportation in animals and plants. Chapter number 7. So different materials have to be transported inside the body of plants and animals. Like the food that we're eating, it gets transported to every part of your body. Then you have transportation of water, minerals, different type of nutrients from the roots of the plants to their shoot system. So that's what you study in the chapter number 7. Then you have reproduction in plants. Uh, the way in which animals reproduce is very different from how plants do reproduction. For example, you would have seen that plants can also be categorized into two categories. Like there are one kind of plant that bears flower and the one that does not bear flower. So the one that bears flower, they are able to do the sexual reproduction. In that, plants reproduces sexually. While in the case of some plants, you would see that, for example, a potato, which is an underground stem, you can cut it into different parts, and each part will grow into a new plant. For example, you have seen a mango plant in which grafting is done. Like mangoes of different species can be grown on the same plant. So there, new plants are being created, new plants are being grown, but the manner is different. Two partners are not required there. So we'll be understanding that in detail when we get to that chapter. Then in later chapter, like in chapter number 9, you'd be studying about motion and time. What is motion? What is time? What are the different ways to measure motion? What are different types of motion? You have circular motion. You have straight line motion like linear motion. Hmm. Suleiman, you listening or not?
Yes, sir.
Then you have time. Like we study about what is time, what are the different tools and instruments we use to measure time. Like in earlier times, people had different methods to measure time. Nowadays, we have got different ways to measure time, and time is actually relative in nature. Then we study in chapter number 10 about electric current and its effects. When an electric current flows through a wire or through a conductor, what are the effects that it creates? For example, when like you have examples of room heater or immersion rod or geyser, so that gives you an heating effect. Heat is generated there, and heat is produced due to electricity now. So electricity produces heat also. Then you would find that you have electromagnets also. You guys have heard of electromagnets? How many of you have heard of electromagnets?
Sir, me. Sir,
Hmm.
my sister have studied it, so I've heard it from her.
Good. So see, normally you have magnets found naturally. You all have played and used magnets. It is found in loudspeakers and different types of toys and different types of devices. Getting it, guys? So then you see there's a one category of magnets that you all have seen and used and played with. But then, with the help of electricity also, some objects like an iron can be converted into a magnet. It can also gain magnetic property. So flow of electric current will develop magnetism also. So that is what you study in that chapter. Then in later chapter number 11, the chapter number 11, that is light, you'd be studying about what is light, what are the properties of light, what is the speed of light, how light travels from space to earth. Hmm? Getting it now? You will be studying about reflection, how you are able to see different things around yourself. Then in later chapter number 12, you will study about forest, that is our lifeline. How forest is important for us. Why it is said that it is our lifeline. Without forest, we humans won't be able to survive. Getting it? Because first thing is that forests are being referred to as the green lungs. You know what the lung does in your body? Lung does the function of exchange of
Sir, you are
gases.
not audible.
Am I audible to others? Sulman, am I audible to
Yes,
you?
sir.
Fatima?
So,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Aman.
Sir,
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
sir, you are not audible, sir. I cannot hear your voice.
Wait a minute.
Sir, if you can hear me, should I leave and join again? Sir,
Yeah, you are
can
audible.
you write in the chat? Sir, I can't hear you.
Join again. Okay.
Sir, okay, you
Mhm.
join. Okay, sir.
Hmm. Yeah. So I was saying that forests are being referred to as the green lungs of Earth. Like you have giant forests, like you have big forests like Amazon rainforest. Huh? So those are the area. Those forests are having a wide coverage area right now, and they are responsible for maintaining the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere. So you see, if the concentration of gases like carbon dioxide were to increase in the atmosphere, so it is giving rise to a phenomena called as global warming. Like the average temperature of the earth is increasing day by day because of deforestation, because of cutting down of the trees. Getting it, guys? Now, my point, what I'm trying to say. So, forests are responsible for sucking the carbon dioxide from the air right now, and it gives out oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. So thereby it maintains the level of carbon dioxide and oxygen gases in the atmosphere. But if we were to cut the forest, so thereby they will not be taking up the carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere. And we are burning fossil fuels, we are burning woods, coal, fossil fuels, so different type of things that we are burning on earth. burning at our homes, burning in the industries to produce electricity, to in the textile industries. Almost in every industries, you will find that every industry will be having a chimney installed in their building from which smoke will be coming out. So every industry burns fossil fuels, and those fossil fuels upon burning releases carbon
Sir,
dioxide gas. Yes, Aman, am
sir,
I
just
audible to
like
you now?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you're
Uh,
audible.
mhm.
So just like you said, there are chimneys. Sir, most of the chimneys are in factories from which a
Hmm.
lot of pollution goes out in it.
Exactly. And those pollutants, what do they consist of? Those gases, they consist toxic gases, like they consist of carbon dioxide, you have carbon monoxide, you have nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxides. These are very toxic gases. So if you keep on cutting trees at one side and we keep on burning fossil fuels and producing lots of pollutants, pollution is increasing. So thereby there are no trees to take the carbon dioxide gases. So thereby its concentration will increase. And carbon dioxide gas, what it does na guys, let me just give you it will take 2 minutes to clear this concept, since we are discussing this right now. What then we will come back to the chapter nutrition in plants in 2 minutes. See, carbon dioxide gas has the ability to absorb heat. It absorbs heat. Okay, now. So different activities that we are doing on Earth, it releases heat. Then sunlight that is coming from the sun, it also contains heat. So all these heats will be absorbed by the carbon dioxide gases. So thereby what happens? It starts to increase the temperature of Earth's atmosphere and the Earth's surface. Thereby what will happen? If the temperature of Earth is increasing, so thereby polar ice caps, the glaciers, what will happen to them? What will happen to them, Suleiman, Fatima, Aman? Will the glaciers not melt if the temperature of atmosphere, if the temperature
Will
of
melt,
Earth were
sir.
to increase? Hmm?
It
So
will
if
Sir,
melt.
they
they
were
will.
exactly, so if they were to melt, what will happen? Will there be not a flood-like situation? Yes,
Yes, sir.
polar ice
Yes, sir.
caps will melt, so they will be discharging huge amount of water in the oceans. So
Yes,
thereby
sir.
it will be a flood-like situation. All the coastal areas, all the islands will be submerged underwater. So that is the thing. So that's why everything is related in nature. You see, your one activity will influence a range of other things in the nature. You burn different, you are burning toxics, you are burning fossil and fuels. You might not see feel it directly that it is influencing the nature, it is impacting the nature, but everything is related. So that's why we should be conscious of the nature and take care of it. Then in the last chapter, wastewater story, you see, if I were to give you, if I were to say that this is a glass and this is the total amount of water that is available on Earth. Just to have an example, see, this is the total amount of water, let's say, that is available on Earth. On Earth. Now you would say that we have sufficient amount of water, but I would say no. Like you have just got a very tiny fraction of it that is fresh water,
Sir,
and that is available for you to
sir,
consume, to use. Yes, Aman.
sir, there is a lot of water supply on Earth, but sir, most of
Hmm.
is not drinkable.
Exactly. Majority of the water is found in the oceans in the saline form. They are saline, meaning that they are salty. So that's why it is not fit for the human consumption. Then you see, the when I was talking about the fresh water, see, even the majority of the fresh water that is there, it is frozen in the polar regions, in the Antarctica and in the Arctic Circle, in the Arctic. So there it is frozen. So we can't start to melt the frozen fresh water and use it. So thereby, what type of fresh water we are having? We are using underground water. We are using water from lakes, from ponds. Getting it, na, guys? So we have very limited amount of water available for our use. And the rate, also one more thing, the geographic division of water is not equal. Like some people every year they suffer from flood. They go through flood. Like recently, there's been a flood in Afghanistan. I believe it happened yesterday or so. 200 people died there due to flood. 200 people have died. Lots of damage done to property and life. So you see that in some part of the world, people are dying due to flood, while in some part of the world, people are not having access to water. Hmm? Like in different parts of Africa or even in parts of India, like in Rajasthan in India, you will find that people are not having access to adequate amount of water. So that is the problem with it. Then wastewater, like obviously due to our activities, we are wasting lots of water. The water is being contaminated. The wastewater that is discharged from your house, isn't that contaminated? Is that fit for consumption? Contains lots of waste in it, lots of plastics in it. Hmm? So thereby in the chapter you would be studying that whatever water, whatever sewage comes from your house, from our houses, it goes through a treatment plant. In the treatment plant, the waste from the water is taken out. All the wastewater is basically discharged into the nearby water bodies now. Like it will be either discharged into a river or into an ocean. That's what happens to the wastewater that is flowing in the drain. But we make sure that before we throw it in the bigger water bodies, we make it free from contamination. Because ultimately, if we were to discharge them into the oceans or the lakes or rivers without cleaning it, there it will kill the fishes, it will be killing the aquatic plants. Getting it now, guys? So that's why in every district, even in India, in every district, there's a wastewater treatment plant. Have you guys heard of this wastewater treatment plant or sewage treatment
Yes,
plant?
sir. Sir,
Yeah.
sir, my political science teacher also told us about it. It
Hmm.
is also held in villages.
Hmm. Even in villages, it is there,
Sir,
right, Pankaj?
sir, one more term like this also takes place in villages. Sir, watershed treatment.
Water for treatment, that is also there. So those are the concepts which we'll be discussing in the last chapter. So Suleiman, I believe that you have got a general idea about the syllabus of class 7, huh?
Yes, sir.
Although there are so many topics that if I were to discuss them in detail, so that will require 1 or 2 classes. So once we get to
Yes.
the chapters in a sequential manner, we will be doing it. Okay. Any questions? Any from anyone? Fatima,
Yes.
which chapter is going on in your school, by the way?
Nutrition in animals.
Nutrition in animal is going on. Let me
Yes.
write that down. Nutrition in animal. Okay. Well, nutrition in plants is done
Yeah.
in your school. This is going on. Any updates regarding your upcoming exams? When your
No, sir.
exams are going to be? As of now, no. Okay. So you guys tell me what were the things we studied in the previous class in nutrition in plants. I believe we have discussed about some basic things about cells, who discovered the cells, these
We
basic
also
things.
discuss about different types of cells and sir, different modes of nutrition.
Hmm. We were about to discuss about the process of photosynthesis. Okay, na?
We also discuss cell.
We discussed about cells also. Okay. Suleiman,
Sir,
have you
plant
studied
cells,
about?
animal cells.
Yeah, exactly. Aman. Suleiman, have you studied about cells in your school?
No, sir.
Okay. So let me just give you a general idea about it. Okay, na?
Sir, is this nutrition in plants or animals?
No, this is nutrition in plants actually. But I have started this chapter with a very basic concept, like about cells, because in biology, like when you'd be studying about biology chapters in class 7, at various places I would be using this word cells. Okay, now. So you need to have a general idea about cells. So see, just like you have an example of a building is made up of made up of walls, and a wall is made up of bricks. So we say that the building unit of you see that the tiniest unit of a building is a brick. In the similar manner, living organisms are also made up of very tiny units called as cells. Okay. So every living organism that you see around yourself or you even, all of them are made up of cells. So for example, they are muscle cells, they are bone cells, they are nerve cells. Cells joins together to form tissues and tissues join together to form organs. So you have different type of organs over here. All the organs are working together in coordination with each other. So thereby that gives you an organ system. An organ system makes up a organism.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, I joined the class late because my network was not working then. So, sir, could you please tell me what happened in the class at the
See,
first 15 minutes?
okay. Before you and Fatima joined, we were discussing the syllabus. Even at that time, I was
Okay, sir.
discussing the syllabus with
Okay, sir.
Suleiman.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no? Okay, no worries. So you see, Suleiman, and everyone revised this. What were the different components in the cells that will be found in almost all kind of cell, whether you have a
Sir,
plant cell or whether you have an animal cell? Yes.
yes, sir. I was only about to say that. Sir, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, cell wall.
Nucleus.
Sir, no, sir. Sir, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus are only found in animal cell and plant cell both. But sir,
Mhm.
vacuole is also found in both of them. But sir,
Mhm.
vacuole found in the plant cell are larger in size, but
Mhm.
lower in quantities. And vacuoles found in animal cell are smaller in size but
Mhm.
larger in quantities.
Good, good. See, Suleiman. On this side, you have an animal cell. Here, you have a plant cell. Okay, now. See, just like every human has got a brain, every animal has a brain. So a cell will also be having a miniature version of brain that we call as nucleus. That thing is clear.
Yes, sir.
Both the cells, whether it be of animal cell or plant cell, will be surrounded by an outer boundary that is called a cell membrane. So it is found in both of them. While in the case of plant cells, you will find that there are two layers of boundary. There are two layers. The outermost is called as cell wall. So there's an extra boundary found in the plant cell that is called as cell wall, right? While animals have got only one boundary called as cell membrane. Now inside the cell, cells are filled with a jelly-like fluid, jelly-like liquid called as cytoplasm. Huh? Then you'd find that there would be some empty spaces found inside the cells. Like in the plant cells, there would be an empty space that would be big in size, huh? And there would be only one or two of them, such spaces. They are called as vacuole. Just like you have a storeroom in your house where you keep different things, that is usually is empty. So that is vacuole. It is really found in the plant cell and in the animal cell also. In animal
Excuse me,
cell,
sir.
it will be found in more numbers, but small in size. Yes, Aman.
Sir, can you please tell again that what is the purpose of the vacuole?
Vacuole, yeah. See, vacuoles now. Sometimes, for example, vacuole would be storing water, vacuole would be storing food. Getting it now? It's a kind of storehouse. You can understand it as a storehouse. So if you have
Sir, just
something
like the
extra,
storages we have in our homes.
exactly, just like that, you can understand it. So if cell has something to store, it will be storing that in vacuole. So that is the thing about the cells. And these are the main components found in the cells. It would be nucleus, cell membrane, and cytoplasm, which we have discussed. Then inside the cell, you would be observing that there are different things that you can observe here. These are called as cell organelles. Just like you have a stomach, you have a lung, you have a kidney, different organs are there now. Even the cells also have got a miniature version of organs called as cell organelles. So that's a general thing about it. And you need to know about this person. His name was Robert Hooke, who discovered the cells for the first time in the year 1665. Is that clear? Suleiman, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now look at the size of the cells. See, this is a human, this is a chicken egg, an ostrich egg, huh? And frog egg, and then this is the human egg, that is ovum. Hmm? So see, this is the size of a particular cell. This is the usual size of a cell. This is how it looks like. Then you should ask this question like, is cell the smallest thing in our body? Is there something that is even smaller than the cell? So I would answer yes.
Sir.
They
Sir.
are atoms. Yes, Aman.
No, sir. I was only about to ask that the question you are talking about.
Okay, okay. So guys, now keep
Sir. Sir, but there are also molecules smaller than cells, and some molecules are made from atoms.
yeah, that's a different thing. If you were to go there, no, like you will be having atoms of same kinds would be joining together to form molecules. But even molecules, atoms are smaller than molecules. Okay, no.
Yes, sir, I
So
know
so
that,
that
but
is the
can't
thing.
we say that molecules are smaller than cells and atoms are smaller,
Obviously,
are the smallest particle?
obviously we can say that.
Hmm.
Obviously we can say that. Okay, no. Okay, then according to the number of cells, you have two type of organisms. One that will be made up of just one cell, and the one that would be made up of multiple cells, like we humans or this octopus. Or then you have unicellular organism, an organism that will be just made up of one cell. Like you have common example of an amoeba, most of the bacterias, paramecium is there. Hope you guys are getting it and not getting bored
Fungi
in this.
also. Fungi and alga.
No, not fungi. You have only some variety of fungi. Only
Okay, sir.
some variety of fungi are there. Although
Sir,
most of
alga.
them are multicellular. Yeah, alga are also alga are multicellular, like this Chlamydomonas, which is an alga. This one is usually one single cellular, just made up of one cell. Alga
Okay,
can
sir.
also be made up of just one cell and multiple cells.
Okay, sir.
Then you guys already know about this. Like the food that you eat, it consists of different type of nutrients in it, and different nutrients have got different purposes. Huh? I believe no need to repeat this one. Like, you know, what are the functions of this? Carbohydrate gives you energy. Protein helps you to build muscles. Fat gives you, fats are like of kind of energy reserves. So whenever you
Sir,
are
does it?
lacking energy, your body would be utilizing the fat to obtain energy. 1 minute, 1 minute, Aman.
Okay, sir.
Vitamins and minerals are protective food in nature. They help you to build your immune system. They help you to fight against disease. Then there's one more called as roughage, that is dietary fiber, that helps in the process of digestion. Dietary fibers are usually found in the green vegetables and fruits. That's why it is advised to take dietary foods, dietary fibers in the form of vegetables and fruits. That will keep your digestion good. Yes, Aman.
Sir, I know, sir, you are bored from answering my doubts.
No,
But sir, I
I'm not.
wanted.
I'm not bored, Aman. Actually, no, I was about to just wanted to complete that one. Yeah.
Yes, sir, but I only wanted to ask that. Sir, you didn't mention about that protein or can also help us repair our body. Sir, is that true?
Exactly, that is true. Protein helps in repairing the damaged tissues also. Right now.
Okay, sir.
And the
Thank you, sir.
proteins are also of different types. One type of protein will be found in the animal food, animals meat. One will be found in the plant also. Like you have different types of, like you have rajma. You heard of rajma, different type of beans. So there also protein is found. Getting it,
Okay, sir.
guys? Okay, now let's understand about the two types of plants or two types of organism which we have on Earth. One that will be able to produce their own food using the energy from sunlight. Those are called as green plants. And they are able to produce their own food. Hence, we call them as autotrophs. Who will tell me what does auto means here? AUTO.
Sir, me. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, self.
Self. Okay. Fatima, you tell me what does troph mean?
Uh,
Auto means self. Fatima, Suleiman, you guys tell me what does troph means? Aman?
sir, can I see?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Sir, an organism which produces its food by itself.
By itself, that is correct. But though that organism is called as autotroph, I'm asking auto means self. What does troph
Sir,
mean? Yeah,
sir,
Aman.
can I tell?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, I think so. Sir, just like I've studied, sir, nourishment.
Exactly. That is nourishment. So, like
Okay, sir.
we humans generally have to depend on plant and animal food for nourishment now. But plants are the only ones that can can nourish themselves. So thereby they are called as self-nourished organisms, or they are called as autotrophs. So troph means nourishment. So they themselves are able to nourish themselves. So you have examples of normally the plants, you have some bacteria also, you have some algae also. Okay, now. So you have some bacteria also, like blue-green bacteria will be there, which can perform photosynthesis. You have sulfur bacteria, etc. Then in the case of heterotrophic, you have every kind of animals will be counted in the case of heterotrophic organisms. They would be eating other organisms to get energy, like a grasshopper or toad. Most of the animals, most of the bacteria and fungi, they're heterotrophic in nature. In heterotroph also you'd be studying that there would be different type of heterotrophs, like they would be carnivores, they would be saprotrophs, they would be omnivorous, they would be decomposers like microorganisms, they would be parasitic organisms also. So all of them are heterotrophic animals. Right now we haven't talked about heterotrophic plants. Even some plants are of heterotrophic nature. Getting it now, guys? So we have classified that organisms are classified into autotrophs and heterotrophs. So the one that is autotrophic in nature, that are the green plants, some bacteria and algae. So they are able to perform this process called as photosynthesis. So most of the life on Earth is dependent upon this photosynthesis. Almost 99% of life is dependent upon the process of photosynthesis. This process is being carried out by the plants, by algae, and some types of bacteria are also able to do this process of photosynthesis. Getting it now? So they would be
Yes, sir.
capturing the energy from sunlight to produce oxygen, and chemical energy is stored in the form of a compound called as glucose, which is basically a sugar. Now herbivores would be obtaining their energy by eating the plants, and carnivores obtain by eating the um, herbivores, and so on. Right now?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what are these two terms? Herbivorous, then carnivorous obtain. Sir, they do not contain space, so sir, they are difficult to understand.
Okay, this one, herbivores, then this is error over here.
Okay,
Herbivores
sir. Sir, I
then
thought
obtain
they
this
are
energy by.
some different terms.
No. Actually, these are no space errors. There's a space error over
I
here.
also wanted to ask something.
Mhm.
Sir,
Yes, man.
you mentioned that saprotrophs are a part of heterotrophs, but sir, aren't saprotrophs a different thing?
And saprotrophs are a different thing.
Sir, because they absorb nutrients
Saprotrophs.
from dead and decaying matter.
Yeah, saprotrophs usually no. You would be having some examples of bacteria also in the case of saprotrophs. So
Sir, but
some
how is
bacteria.
saprotroph and topic of heterotroph? How can we count it as an heterotroph?
See, basically the reason why we count saprotrophs as heterotrophic is now because they are not able to carry out the process of photosynthesis. Are they able to prepare their are they able to prepare their food within their body, or are they taking it from outside?
That they are taking it from outside.
From outside, na, from decaying plants, from decaying woods, right now, like a mushroom. You have example of
Yes, sir.
mushroom. You have different type of fungi like penicillium. You have example of bacillus, which is a bacteria. So if saprotrophs, like all the fungi and all different kind of fungi and different type of bacteria that we'll be studying about, they are saprotrophs. Even some plants are saprotrophic in nature. Okay, we will get to that. We'll get there as well. Okay, so let's understand this process of photosynthesis. That is the food making process in plants. So we see simply we can define it in this manner, that it's the process by which autotrophic green plants prepare their own food from simple inorganic substances that they take from the nature. What do they take from nature? They would be taking carbon dioxide and water. These are the inorganic substances that they take from the nature, namely via the roots and via the leaves. And in the presence of sunlight, inside a green pigment found in them called as chlorophyll. There, this process happens. So in the presence of sunlight and green pigment, that is chlorophyll, this process goes on, in which the inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water are converted using light energy into carbohydrates, and oxygen is liberated in the process. Am I clear to everyone? Is that clear to everyone? These are the chemical formulas of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide in chemistry,
How
in the
is
term of
oxygen required in photosynthesis?
oxygen isn't required. Oxygen is liberated. It is given out. See,
Sir, how is it written carbon dioxide plus water and sir carbohydrates plus oxygen? Sir, it should be equal to.
no. Actually, see, this arrow signs shows what here. See, these are the substances that goes under reaction. They are called as reactants. Carbon dioxide and water are reactants. The substances that goes under reaction, that reacts with each other. Okay, now. Now on the right side of this arrow, on the right hand side of this arrow, these are the products that are obtained in the process of photosynthesis. It's not like oxygen is utilized. No. On which side it is lying of arrow?
Sir, I got it. I got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And these are the chemical formulas of the following. Although it is not important as of 7th standard, but still it is written over here. So don't pay attention to these two ones. Just look at this one. So hope you guys have understood this. Again, one more thing. See, this energy is stored in the, it is said to be a chemical energy because it's a chemical compound. See, this is C6H12O6. That is the formula of a carbohydrate called as glucose. Now, I want to tell one more thing. You see, carbohydrates are also of different types. Carbohydrates are also of different types. Like you have glucose, you have sucrose, you have fructose. These are different types of carbohydrate. So in the process of photosynthesis, which type of
also.
starch also? So glucose is the carbohydrate which is prepared in the process of photosynthesis. So sometime it in the process, while the photosynthesis is being defined, sometimes simply carbohydrate would be written or sometimes glucose might also be written. So don't get confused between the two. Glucose is just a type of carbohydrate. Let me write it over here if someone is finding it confusing. Okay, now carbohydrate types. You have glucose, you have sucrose, you have starch. These are normally the three different types of carbohydrate which you have. Suleiman, hope you are getting it. Fatima, Hassan, Aman. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that is the thing. Now you see, where exactly is this process happening? This is a question which one should be asking. Where is all this process happening? Just like the food is being
Sir,
prepared in the
in the
kitchen.
leaves.
In the leaves, obviously. So leaves are called as kitchen house of the plant. Leaves are called as kitchen of the plant. So it is happening inside the leaves. Now, where exactly in the leaves it is happening? So you'd observe that inside the leaves we have got very tiny openings called as stomata. So see this this whole structure that you see over here, this is called as stomata. Okay, no? And inside this, in the middle of this stomata, there is an opening. We'll understand about its function later on. But as of now, let's understand where is photosynthesis is happening. So pay attention over here. These these openings are surrounded by some cells called as guard cells. These are guard cells which are responsible for opening and closing of this stomatal pore. This pore that you see, this hole in the leaf, it is open and closed by the guard cells that are surrounding it. Is that clear to everyone so far or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, chlorophyll, you all have heard of chlorophyll. It will be found in the guard cells also, and it will be found in the nearby cells also. Okay, now let me show you this image over here. See, this will give you a better idea. Now, if you guys remember, if you were to look at this image over here, in the plant cell, you would find that there are some green structures inside the cell. Look at this one. Suleiman, read its name. What do we call them as?
Sir, chloroplast.
Yes, Suleiman. That is chloroplast. Aman, Fatima, everyone, no? So that is chloroplast.
Yes, sir.
Chloroplast is found only in the
Sir, leaf cells and leaf.
in the leaf cells, or basically in the plant cells, it will be found on.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
No issues. That is correct. See, so inside the chloroplast, you will see inside the plant cells, there are small organelles. These are cell organelles. Remember, you have different type of organs inside your body. A plant cell also has got some organs. So this is one of them. It consists, there's a cell organelle inside the plant cell called as chloroplast, which stores the energy of sunlight. Now let's understand how exactly and what is found inside this chloroplast. See, using this microscope, like this lens, it is being tried to show that something is being found inside this. So this is the structure of a chloroplast. Inside this chloroplast, there's a light absorbing pigment called as chlorophyll, which is found here. Let me come 1 minute, Aman. Let me just quickly summarize it. Then I'll be taking all of your questions, everyone's question. Okay, now. So site of photosynthesis is leaves. Where exactly inside the leaves? So inside the leaves, you have got the guard cells. Guard cells, you guys understood now. It is closing and opening this pore. It controls the closing and opening of the holes inside the leaves. Now, inside the guard cells, where exactly? So inside the guard cells, you have got chloroplast, and inside the chloroplast, you have chlorophyll, which is able to absorb the light coming from the sunlight. And hence, also chlorophyll gives the plant its green color. So that is the thing. Yes, Aman.
Sir, I was saying that, sir, chlorophyll absorbs new sunlight, and sir, it utilizes the sunlight to make food.
See, for this reaction to take place, like in order for you to cook the food, you require fuel, no? You require LPG, isn't it, Suleiman, Aman, Fatima? So you require energy to carry out the chemical reactions. In order to carry out this chemical reaction, energy is required. And where is that energy coming from? It is coming from the sunlight, right now. And that energy has to be absorbed by something. So that's something which is absorbing the energy, that is called as chlorophyll, which is found in the chloroplast, and chloroplast is in. Let me summarize it like this. Inside the leaves, you have got guard cells. Okay. Inside the guard cells, you have got chloroplast. And within the chloroplast, you have got what? Yes?
Sir, chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. You guys tell me, is this sequence clear to everyone or not? Honestly, tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is clear.
Okay, what about others? Feel free to ask this question. If you are not getting it, it's okay. No need to feel shy in this. Suleiman and Fatima, what about you guys? You guys have got this or not?
Yes,
See,
sir.
this is a leaf. Inside the leaf,
Yes, It's sir. not clear.
it's not clear. Okay, no issues. Fatima, what about you?
Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay, see, Suleiman, what happens now? Inside the leaves now, there are so many tiny pores found inside the leaves. There are kind of small holes found inside the leaves. Okay, not understand it in this manner. From which, like, how does the plant leaves are able to take in carbon dioxide gas and oxygen? It is because of the tiny holes found inside the leaves. That thing is clear now. Those holes found in the leaves are its opening and closing is regulated by the guard cells. Like guard cells will it will contract to close it, it will swell to open it. So guard cells, like if the guard cells were to come like this, the pore will close or not? Look at my hand. If the guard cells were to like this, The pores will close. If the guard cells were to like this, the pore cells will open now. Getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
So guard
Yes.
cells are surrounding this hole. Now inside the guard cells, as I told you about the chloroplast, chloroplast is found inside the guard cells, and inside the chloroplast you have got chlorophyll. So that is the thing. Hope you guys are getting it. Give it a read, it will be clear. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll end our class with this one question and then continue from the next one. You guys answer it in the chat box. To where you will be answering?
Sir, in
On
the
this
chat box.
in this ID, on this ID, not on my full name, on this one. Okay, answer it quickly. Next class is about to start.